Thanks for joining the OneScreen channel. Today we're going to discuss OneScreen Canvas for education. OneScreen Canvas is our hardest working video smart screen that brings collaborative learning to life for teachers and students from primary classrooms to college lecture rooms. Let's jump into the hardware and the software. Now, all of our OneScreen Canvas touchscreens come standard with our original LG IPS LED panels. Additionally, they all have the heavy-duty thick anti-glare glass surfaces, 4K resolution, and 20 points of touch. At the very top, you're going to find our OneScreen webcam. This has its own customized shelf to mount to the top of the screen and has a nice wide-angle lens with powerful microphone built in. Additionally, we have our OneScreen onboard computer. This is an i7 Intel 4th generation processor with Windows 10 Pro, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 256 gig solid state drive. Just below us, we have the little wireless keyboard with the mouse trackpad. This is great for teachers as they can walk around the classroom and still maintain control of not only the computer, but the Android platform built in. There's even a little customized shelf that comes with it for storage purposes. We also have a couple of dummy stylus pins, no batteries, no electronics, so you don't have to worry about getting them broken or lost. And they're a great tool to use not only for mousing, but for definitely annotation purposes. Built into the front, two front-facing 15-watt Dolby branded speakers for premium audio output if you're playing any video or any kind of video application otherwise. Now, with the flick of a finger, I can now access our native home screen of the monitor itself within Canvas. This shows me where all of my inputs are, so 3 HDMI inputs, VGA and DisplayPort, and with the touch of a finger, I can access our powerful Android 6 operating system. This allows us to access our full-fledged Google Play Store. Your teachers can go ahead and use their G Suite credentials to log in, and it's a multi-user sign-in. So if you have multiple teachers that are using the screen, they could all have their own sign-in. YouTube, Chrome, our interactive whiteboarding tool within the Android is available, and we have our powerful eShare server built into the touchscreen. This is going to be great for your classroom environment when your students are bringing in their own devices. Whether it's a smartphone, a tablet, a Chromebook, or laptop, your students can stream wirelessly onto the screen. You can have 1, 2, or 4 students streaming at the same time simultaneously, and on top of that, with my built-in whiteboarding tool within the monitor, I can even annotate directly on top of their images. Adds for a whole nother level of presentation when you're dealing with your students' content. And now you can see how easy it is just to transition right out of our eShare and Android world right back into our Windows platform, to our onboard computer. Now let's jump over to our OneScreen Annotate software. This is where you're going to get a lot of your power for your educational teaching applications. So for instance, I can bring up anything on my computer. As you can see, I brought up an educational website. From here, I can annotate on top of this, and really I can annotate on anything, any document on your computer. So as an example, I can go ahead and circle that. If I wanted to finish the math problems here, I can go ahead and do that. I have all kinds of pen colors to choose from and pen styles. Now from here, I can transition right into a whiteboarding screen. This gives me the power to do anything that I want to do in a whiteboarding capacity. Maybe I want to do some math problems, maybe I want to write out some sentences, whatever it may be, this is your whiteboarding application. Now from here, there's a couple of other specialized tools I'd like to go over. There's a scrolling capability, so if you're doing anything that needs to go beyond and above the whiteboard screen you see, I can scroll and get it out of the way. I also have the ability to use my text pen. This allows me to write anything with letters and symbols and have it come out properly, nice and clean. I also have an intelligent pen. This allows me to draw shapes, and all these shapes can be resized and moved, and everything is going to be very easily manipulated as you want to. A couple of other tools are multiple pens, so I can have a couple people coming up here at the same time. I also have a split screen application, which would allow me, as an example, to have 2 people come and use the screen in their own platform. So right here, they have their own colors and their own mouse and their own eraser to work it there accordingly. So if they wanted to answer the question, they can go ahead and do so, but in their own time and in their own whiteboarding space. Another fantastic tool is our image gallery searching tool. As an example, I put in first grade math, and you can type in anything because it's a Google image search. This allows me to bring content directly onto the screen. I can resize it. I even have the ability to go ahead and fill it out. So if I wanted my students to come up here and draw, I can. So again, the tool allows for all kinds of different applications for you to take advantage of with our annotation tool. Lastly, but not least, Everything that you do on the screen is automatically saving. So you'll see I have all of my thumbnails. If I want to move these around, if I want to delete them, I can. More importantly, I can save these as a PDF or a JPEG, and I'll have the ability to share that with the class afterwards. Or better yet, I can even save within the file format, which gives me a living document. So if the bell rings and I'm not quite done, I can always come back the next day, open up the same document, see exactly what we were doing the day before, revisit this, and hit the ground running. So OneScreen Annotate is going to give you all that power that you're going to want to use all within your annotation tool. Now, optional software is also available as well to expand your subject-specific toolbars and import over 10,000 lesson plans based on your state's core curriculum, or software to quickly develop a lesson plan using content from your Google Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, YouTube, Google Images, or any website. Share the lesson plan with students live or offline and monitor their progress. It's a fantastic addition if you need that as well. Jumping out of our OneScreen Annotate software application, we're going to go right into our distance and blended learning solution. This is going to give the teacher the ability to bring in people from afar, maybe a guest lecturer from anywhere in the world. They can join classrooms. You can even bring in remote students from anywhere else, maybe their own home if they happen to be at home for an extended period of time. Let's go ahead and jump into a live call. I brought in Mrs. Z to be our guest presenter today, and what we're going to do is show a real-time application. So right now, I can say, hey, Mrs. Z, go ahead and talk to my class and present something that you want to present, and not only are we going to see and hear her, we'll also see her content. So she's actually sharing a document right now. The best part is, if that's not quite large enough for the students to see, I can double tap on it so they can see everything. We can still see and hear Mrs. Z up here in the corner, so it gives us a lot of flexibility for her teaching practice as she's coming in remotely to our classroom. Now, I'm going to change the layout back to split screen. Some other great feature sets that are specific to this distance and blended learning solution is our polling. So now, as an example, Mrs. Z or I could have gone ahead and set up questions for the remote people to go ahead and answer. I could have even had a PowerPoint already made that would have the questions, and they can go ahead and answer those questions, and everything is going to aggregate into one document. So at the end of this, I'll be able to see how well everybody's doing. I also have the ability to screen share myself. So in this case, if I'm working with remote classes or remote students, I can share anything on my desktop. I can also share any specific application, maybe a Word document or a website, just in case I don't want them to see everything on my desktop. And I have the ability to pass control to the far end so they can also interact with me and collaborate. Transcription is another thing specific to OneScreen, and this is going to give you the ability to transcribe everything that's going on in the session. So if I'm speaking or Mrs. Z is speaking, it's going to transcribe everything again into one document so you have a record of that after the fact. Now, one of the most important aspects of our distance and blending learning solution is recording. Every session that you're doing, you have the ability to record to the cloud or directly to the computer, and this is something that can then be shared with your students so they can play back the whole lesson as they want to, when they want to, on their own device. Now remember, our OneScreen application here is going to be able to be used not only on a big touchscreen like this, but with smartphones, tablets, Chromebooks, and laptops via browsers. So it's a very easy application for people to join in on from anywhere in the world. Thanks a lot, Mrs. Z. We appreciate it. Finally, OneScreen is unique in that we offer a robust capacity building program for teachers through our real-time training sessions and technical support, whether you want to learn just one tool or need a detailed training. So there you go, a quick review of Canvas for the classroom. Thanks again for joining us. And as always, all of our OneScreen solutions include free, unlimited, on-demand Screen Skills Guru support and training via audio, video, chat, email, or phone.